274 million people watched the Hunan High Court's bride price return. A woman spent 500,000 yuan, leaving only 30,000 yuan. Refusing to repay, she was forcibly detained for 15 days. A Shanghai man met her while traveling. After a few days together, they hastily met 3 times before registering their marriage. He gave her over 200,000 yuan in bride price and jewelry, and bags worth over 100,000 yuan. After marriage, he saw her twice and asked her to move in, which she refused. The man from Shanghai felt the woman just wanted to get married to scam money, so he divorced her and demanded the return of the bride price. After their divorce, the woman said she changed her mind and wanted to remarry him. Crucially, during the remarriage, she asked for another bride price of over 100,000 yuan. It's unclear whether the man was too easy to deceive or if the scam was too sophisticated. However, shortly after remarrying, the woman again regretted, which infuriated the man from Shanghai. He immediately filed a lawsuit against her, and the court ultimately ruled that the woman must return 250,000 yuan of the bride price. The Hunan High Court even conducted a live broadcast of the execution on site. The woman turned into a defaulter, claiming that she had spent all the money and was unemployed, making it impossible to return the bride price. Even when forcibly taken away, she showed a look of disdain, carrying a designer handbag on her shoulder. After assessing all her assets, including some luxury items and jewelry, the total value did not exceed 30,000 yuan. Since she lacked the ability to repay the bride price, she was only administratively detained for 15 days and her credit record was affected. However, for such a scammer and defaulter, this kind of punishment might be insignificant.
A couple divorced and divided 3.3 million yuan in assets, with the man receiving only 280,000 yuan. There is such a case. After 3 years of marriage, the relationship between Xiaoli and Xiaoqiang gradually deteriorated. Therefore, in 2020, Xiaoli filed for divorce in court and requested the division of the couple's joint assets according to the law. It was found that the couple owned a property purchased after marriage, valued at over 1.7 million yuan. The down payment of over 1 million yuan was funded by Xiaoli's mother, while the remaining 700,000 yuan was paid through a joint housing fund loan applied for by Xiaoli and Xiaoqiang. When registering the property, the ownership was recorded under both Xiaoli and Xiaoqiang's names, and it was registered as shared ownership. Among them, Xiaoli holds a 99% share, while Xiaoqiang holds a 1% share. The couple jointly repaid the loan, and the current market value of the property is 3.3 million yuan. With an outstanding loan amount of over 500,000 yuan. After the first and second trials, the People's Court ultimately ruled that Xiaoli and Xiaoqiang divorce, with the house awarded to Xiaoli. After deducting the current remaining loan, Xiaoli is to pay Xiaoqiang a compensation of over 28,000 yuan for the house, and Xiaoli will repay the remaining loan. Why does Xiaoqiang only receive 28,000 yuan? Because according to Article 1065 of the Civil Code, the man and woman can agree that the property acquired during the marriage, as well as the property owned before marriage, belongs to each individually, jointly, or partially individually and partially jointly. Such agreements should be in written form. The couple can decide on the ownership of the property acquired during the marriage. And the agreement regarding premarital property is legally binding on both parties. In this case, the agreement to co-own the property in shares at the time of property registration is legal and valid. So the judgment is based on the ownership registration ratio. The house is divided according to this ratio, and Xiaoqiang can only receive a 1% share. Therefore, after deducting the remaining loan, Xiaoqiang can only receive over 28,000 yuan. What do you think about this? Feel free to leave a comment below.